These frames were made from IOD molds, clay, and cracking plaster. Today's video is part 2 of our gallery wall. In part 1, we made the tulips. In part 2, we're going to do daisies and sunflowers. So let's get started. All of these were made exactly the same. We took the frames and we added cracking plaster, but first we had to put the cracking plaster primer on and let it totally dry. So this is the primer already on. Here it is. The primer has dried. It's a little glossy, and now it's time to add the plaster. And simply I take a palette knife and just add that plaster in every bit of the frame. And I try not to make it too thick, but a thin layer over the whole thing. And then once you have all that plaster on the frame, you just let it dry overnight or for at least maybe 3 or 4 hours until you start to see it cracking. And here it is, all cracked up. And now it's time to make the molds. So I'm making the largest mold that the flower mold, which is the sunflower, and you can see it takes a lot of clay and takes quite a while to get this mold all set. And I didn't put quite enough clay in, so I really want to get all of those edges. So if I didn't have enough clay, I push a little more clay in the middle and then push it out into those edges so that I have all those petals. And also I want to make sure I have that micro rim showing so I know I have all the detail. And here it is, that big, giant, gorgeous sunflower. Now for me, I wanted to have there a little more dimension with these flowers. So what I'm going to do is I am going to actually cut in between the petals and shape them a little bit. And you have to do this very carefully because you don't have a lot of space where the petal meets the center, and you want to make sure you don't break those petals off. But I just wanted them to be just a little more dimensional and maybe a little more fluid, so that's why I'm cutting all of the petals. And you can see all of those petals, and I'm actually going very careful, even though it looks like I'm going fast because the video is sped up. But I'm just trying to make it look like they're a little more realistic. They're not just a flat casting. And then I have to let it dry. And once you let it dry and you paste it down, here it is. Now, to work on that whole relief, I made several of the stems, and the sunflower stem that comes with the mold is not very long. So I had to make a lot of them, and they do fit together pretty well, but you do have to make a lot of them. But one of my favorites was to make the leaf. The leaf is very realistic with what a sunflower leaf really looks like, and it was a lot of fun to just mold it and then curve it, shape it a little bit so that it looked also a little more dimensional. Now, the easiest way to make any casting is to shape it a little bit, the shape that it is going to be, before you pop it into the mold. And you see it goes a lot quicker once you've already established the shape. So I made lots of these leaves, and what I did is once they were all done, popped them out, and then I just shaped it. Just moved them like they're a little bit furled. And here's all the castings drying for that relief. Now, I did something different that I did not do in the last, the first relief, the tulip relief. I actually sealed the plaster once it had cracked. And the reason I did that is that it was really difficult to get the glazing down behind the flower once I had everything all glued down. So I decided it would be easier to go ahead and seal each section before I glued it down. And then I even sealed the flowers once they were glued down, and I stained them, or I put a glaze on them one by one that way. So I'm just using a matte varnish, Wise Owl um, matte varnish, so it won't give any shine. So once the varnish was dry, I was able to move around the glaze really easily. And so this is just um, Pentart's antiquing glaze, and it is in ochre and it's mixed with a lot of water. And I just go ahead and put it on, and then I really, really try to rub it in, and then I go ahead and take it off in some places. So it really has the look of an antique relief, which would be a carved mold, a carved plaster design. So this is a faux relief because we're not carving the plaster, we're literally just gluing the plaster down. But this worked out so much easier to do that ahead of time. And then here I am, I'm using my heavy body gel and I am gluing down all of those pieces. And it took a little while for these to dry. And what happens is once you shape them, you don't have as much flat surface. So you have to use a little more of the heavy body gel and you have to wait a little longer because it takes a little longer for them to set. You just find the flat parts. And I'm trying to go and put the leaves where the um, stems divided. And what happens when you let your clay and all of the castings dry before you glue them down? Some of them, especially those small, skinny stems, they kind of get a little bit curled up and they're not totally flat. So it's a little trickier to get them glued down, but it's just finding the flat, making sure you have the heavy body gel on all of the flat surface. And I used a little more than I normally would too, to just really make sure it was going to stick because they're heavy castings. And once the sunflowers were done, it was time to work on the daisies. And for the daisies, I am using the He Loves Me Not mold. And this mold is daisies, but it does not come with a stem. And the leaves actually are way too big for what we need for this relief. So I just used the flowers from that, and then I used a stem from a different one, and I used actually the leaves from a different mold also. And I did use a lot of different products, so I will go ahead and link them all in the description so you can see what I used. Different, two different kinds of clay, actually, several different molds, and then the products that I needed. The plaster, those are Pentart products, and even the heavy body gel, that is a Pentart product too. So the procedure is pretty much exactly the same with the daisies. I did seal this frame with a Wise Owl varnish in matte, and then I'm doing the glazing and I'm taking some off. And the reason you seal it is because it's so easy to move that glaze around once you have sealed the back. So the daisy mold may not have a stem, but it has a lot of flowers, and you could actually use those daisies as other flowers. There's one even a little larger than this one, this one you can see I furled back those petals a little bit, but there's even a larger daisy that I thought you could actually use it as a dahlia. And then there's those little tiny ones. You could actually use a lot of them together and make them into little forget me nots. There's a lot you can do with this He Loves Me mold. And you do have to be careful with that long, skinny piece. It's very easily breaks. So I just went ahead and made a whole bunch of the little daisies, and then I glued them down with their stems. The other issue there was with the daisies, he loves me not mold, is that the leaves were huge and they were a little bigger than I think would have worked for a daisy. So I did use a different mold with the tiny little leaves, and I cast a whole lot of them to just kind of fill in. And I think it worked really well. So once I had all of the daisies, all of the stems, and all the little leaves glued down, then I went ahead and sealed that whole project again with the Wise Owl varnish. And that way I knew once that varnish dried, I could glaze it, and the glaze wasn't going to just be absorbed in, but I could move it around so that I could get the exact look that I wanted. And here you see it's just you put the glaze on and then you wipe it back. But with the sealed daisies, it's so much easier to get the excess glaze off. And there it is, all done. And part of the gallery wall. Staged just a little bit and then ready to be hung and be part of a gallery wall in a bedroom.